Welcome back to Legendary Feral Games. I'm your host, Joe, and oh boy, we are literally about to go face first into a brick wall today. Let's go ahead and do some exercise first. So, this is going back to what I mentioned in the last episode. First, we need Dogmeat, because we are going to do a tactic that was taught to me by a good friend of the channel, Ketonin. And to do this, we need to go ahead and get Dogmeat. We're going to put Codsworth here at Sanctuary Hills. And then we are going to go ahead and travel literally right beside here to Vault 101. Now, to go back into Vault 101, you need to go up here and actually hit the switch so we can get in. And it's going to beep a little bit. Basically, what we are after here is we are after that super secret weapon that was locked away behind the master lock. There's actually a way, as Ketonin taught me, to have Dogmeat actually get the item for us. And the only reason he's able to bypass that is because technically the item is just sitting there behind the master lock safe. It's not actually inside of it. So, down we go. And this brings back memories from literally the very first episode. Yes, at any time in the game, you can always go back to Vault 111. And the main thing we are after here, again, is going to be right by the Overseer's office. So, go back through here, through the quarantine zone, back at the beginning. And if you notice, Dogmeat looks like he's not following us. If you look back the elevator, you don't see him. Don't worry, just wander around for a little bit, he'll show up. And again, we want to take a left from the Overseer's office and just keep winding around back here. And we'll eventually see ourselves right beside the desk. There he is.
Hey.
Nice to finally meet you, boy.
How you doing,
Let's
buddy?
talk and then go to fetch
Hey, boy.
right there. And we want him to fetch
something for
an
me?
item because we want the item in the container. So, right like that.
Nearby, boy.
And it already says he found something because it's literally right there. So he's going to go over to it and literally just yank it out of the case. So the case was locked, but it was not an itemized list item inside of the case. Instead, it was literally just sitting there so you could see. So he can pull it out for us as well as the 200 rounds that go with it. Great job, Dogmeat. And now we have the super secret Cryolator, which is able to freeze enemies, as you can see right there. Now, let's go ahead, since we have a lot to get to on this one, and head back to Coastal Cottage, because it's finally time to put an end to all the lore surrounding the Mahkra Fishpacking facility. And this is because, if you remember, back a few episodes ago when we raided the Mahkra Fishpacking plant, we learned that a few of the people survived and went to a hideout under the bridge. Well, let's see how that turned out. So, what we're going to notice immediately is something's on to us the second we get in here. I'm going to tell you, it's a few ruthless somethings. You kind of get an idea just based on the barrels sitting around here. It did not end up well for them, as we've got Legendary Feral Ghoul Stalker, and we've got a Putrid Glowing One, as if the glowing ones weren't strong and overpowered enough. So you can see here, this is explosive because of the oil on the ground. So if we can get their attention and get them over here, we can at least blow the oil up on them. Come on, get him coming after us, and go, blow it, and run. And I'll tell you, the problem is he can literally just warp out here with us, so quickly get in the inventory so we don't get one-shotted. And now, let's go ahead and use the level up, which will automatically restore our health. And this time, we are literally stuck between charisma and strength. And I think in this case, strength, so we can stop relying on chems to carry more stuff. So, Dogmeat is going to be the perfect foil here, as he's going to give us some room so we can basically juke him and now deal with the Legendary Ghoul Stalker. So again, the Ghoul Stalkers are the second to highest tier, and just like that, we actually end up getting a 2-shot hunting rifle, which is something we very well may want to invest in the future. Basically, you can turn it into a sniper rifle. It shoots twice instead of once. Very good for anything that you're not concentrating for headshots on, unless it's got a really big head. And just like that, we need to get what tiny bit of health we can back up. This is where that grilled rag stack goes perfect. And let's go ahead, get back out here, get ready to get smacked in the face right there. Thank goodness, Dogmeat. It actually took a few attempts to get Dogmeat to stand in the way. Otherwise, we literally got one-shot the second we got out the door. It's easy to get stun-locked on these guys, like we almost did there, as you saw how much damage he did. But the good thing about Fallout 4 is it actually saves the last 3 autosaves. So if you do get in a situation where you're stuck in an endless loop, you can reload an older autosave to get yourself out of it. And at this point, we are literally just going to have to play Ring Around the Rosie with this thing, because as you can see, he pretty much takes no damage at all. But daggone it, the fact that we've got him crippled is the only thing keeping us alive right now, because otherwise he would be sprinting at us constantly. As you can see, even with him crippled, his attacks are so quick. He can almost bypass having his leg crippled. It is that crazy of an enemy. So again, just run around, keep our distance, because remember, just like the regular glowing one, he can still irradiate the entire area and wipe you out. So we don't want to stay in his line of sight for too long, but we definitely want to keep on the move and keep taking pot shots. This is literally one of the strongest ghouls out there, so let's keep going. And just like that, you see we are pretty much doing nothing to him. Don't worry, things are about to change, because this is actually the final episode before we finally advance the story into Diamond City. So yes, in Friday's episode, we are finally making it to Diamond City. As much as we have been looking forward to this, let's go ahead again. This is the shotgun that does extra damage to ghouls that we got last episode. And my gosh, even it is struggling to take this thing out. But honest to goodness, if he was not crippled, we would be screwed right now. As we go ahead and get him out of here, thank goodness. And that way Dogmeat will come back to us where he was injured. If you take down the enemy that wiped him out, he actually somehow miraculously recovers from that enemy going down. I guess divine justice. Let's head back in, because there's one more ghoul we still need to deal with. As you can see there goes down the stalker again. Wait, what? Deja vu. There were 2 of them, because there's the other one over there. What in the world? Let's go ahead, pull the fusion core, and just like that, I think we are good here. So that's the main loot that you get down here, is a legendary ghoul, as well as the fusion core, and you get a few items in here, but I'll tell you, this area is going to mess you up royally, because there is a reason all those people were taken out, and we had such high-level ghouls, because notice how ridiculously fast our rads are going up. And that is because of this lovely little thing in here with us where everyone was hiding out at. You notice how everything looks great. They all kind of flopped over by the table. That's the problem. And notice how high that jumped up the further into this room we got. So there was the problem. Again, the whole story with Mahkra Fishpacking is the bombs hit when they were just doing normal day's work. And the issue is, as we fly back to Pier parking garage, because we're going to go across the bridge this time to make it to a new pier. So the issue is, some of the people escaped the plant, taking the elevator up. It was the guy that went to get the Nuka-Cola for the woman who asked. And that trapped the people down in the facility who didn't make it. Meanwhile, the ones that did make it out hid in that bunker. The problem is, there was radioactive material in there with them, so they got ghoulified. And just like this, we are literally hiding in here, because you see the danger marking, and there is the problem. So this is literally Gibson Point Pier. It is flooded with high-level Mirelurks. I'm only going to take this one out, because the only thing I'm interested in right now is expanding the places we have that we can fast travel to. Because this is going to be a key point going to the MTR and a few other really iconic locations. And we're literally right beside where Dunwich Moors is. So, again, we just want to clear all this stuff out. Steamer trunk, you can kind of see. Pretty good loot for the most part. And as you can also see, the back half of this pier is peaceful. Don't even attempt to go in the other side, because you're going to get those razor mirelurks, those mirelurk death claws, and whatever else they're called. I can never remember it, but it's the blue ones that chase you endlessly that you can just never get away from. So instead, we're going to go back to Lexington, specifically the Corvega Assembly Plant, because I don't know if you've noticed our health, but our health is absolute garbage because of all that radiation we took in the hideout. So let's go back to somewhere we know. We did not officially take out the Corvega Assembly Plant, the CAP, yet. We just went in there to take out the leader, which we needed to get 10 Pines Bluff as a settlement. We have not cleared this area out, and they make it abundantly clear when we return. So they are definitely not our target right now. There are way too many raiders in that place for us to deal with this low of health. So quickly, geez, Molotov cocktails and everything, just jump off and just go. Just go into Lexington. Because ideally we need to find Rad-Away somewhere, somehow. Otherwise we're just going to have to deal with it when we get to Diamond City. Because as you can see early in the game, Rad-Away without having vendors is pretty much an impossibility. It is very rare to find in the wild when you actually need it, unless you're in high traffic quest type of areas. And you really notice it. So Lexington is a very large town. It is overrun with feral ghouls. If you remember, it's got that one raider that's up on top of the overpass that is sniping everyone with a fat man. So he definitely needs to be taken out if we're to have any sense of freedom around here. So just go up this gigantic piece of scaffolding, and that's going to put us up there with him. So again, we are really running low on resources. Let's go ahead and pull anything we can and get ready for a fight, because he's going to have a turret over here. And as you can see, there's still a lot of raiders over on the Corvega Assembly Plant. We're going to have to go there when we actually have ammo to work with. We just do not have the ammo, do not have the health to deal with that. So instead, let's turn around. Right there's the guy's turret. Let's take it out. And now get ready, because the only way to beat someone with a Fat Man Mini-Nuke launcher is literally to get right in his face. The problem is, he's not afraid of blowing himself up to take you out. So, we really need to just slow down time so we can get enough hits on him to do much good. Because on top of everything else, he's also in power armor, just to make the situation even more ridiculous. As you can see his light right there. So there he is, Raider Scum. He's in a special suit of Raider power armor. And we are going to completely bypass all of this by a little bit of time manipulation. So, if you know what I mean, and we've seen this trick before, let's go over here, pump the jet. You know, everyone's favorite chem in this series for some reason. Personally, I prefer Psycho, and now quickly get up on him before he can even lock on to us. He's almost got it there. This is why it's so important to have jet. Boom! Just before he can shoot it. And just like that, we also take out his buddy that's helping him. And now the real existential threat is out of here. The only thing the city's gonna have now is just feral ghouls. And they're all low tier for the most part. I don't think I've ever seen a Reaver here, unless you come back at like level 50 or something, maybe. So go ahead, take all this. As you can see, he does have Raider power armor, which you can slap onto your base set of power armor back at Sanctuary Hills if you want. And as you can see from this building right here, this entire area, this entire section of Lexington is basically a giant jungle gym where you always have to watch out for psychopaths just launching themselves headfirst at you. I mean, the ghouls make their presence terrifyingly known in this town. I don't know how many there are, but it seems like there's an endless supply. So let's quickly get our replacement jet off the counter here to replace the one we used. And let's go ahead and head up. You know, this isn't even a platforming section, and I still found a way to mess it up. So let's not fall through the crack in the roof. Unless we decide for ourselves that it's just so much fun that we want to fall through the crack in the roof again, just so we can go ahead and take all the chems, all the weapons, and all the goodies. Unfortunately, ammo and Rad-Away is pretty much not a thing. So back down on the ground level of Lexington, let's go ahead, take out all the crazies that are just sprinting at us. Again, feral ghouls, what makes them so dangerous is how fast they are, because they can just gang up on you and hit you one after the other after the other. It does not matter if they go down one hit, if you can get a whole herd of like 10 of them smacking you at once. So this area, you have to be on guard, because as you see, the feral ghouls are literally everywhere in Lexington, and we'll definitely be here at a different time to thoroughly cleanse the city. We clearly are not on that mission right now. As you can see, right here is the Super Duper Mart, which is a very cool location inside of Lexington. For now, I'm just going to take the resources, like the Mr. Handy Fuel, which will come in very good for our settlement, as we go ahead and keep working our way by the diner over here. And now, on this side, you can see what looks like a parking garage, and it is, but we have to be extremely careful because this parking garage is loaded with feral ghouls, but there is an easy way to take them out. So again, just hoping that one of the feral ghouls drops a Rad-Away, or one of these containers just happens to have one. Again, it's randomized loot, so you never know what you're going to get. But again, Rad-Away is just so hard to find. It's never available when you need it. So there's a very good chance we may not get healed of this and just have to go to Diamond City to do it, because there will be a doctor who can get rid of the radiation poisoning for us.
Wait there.
So, this area is littered with feral ghouls, but it's also littered, as you can see on the floor here, with oil. So let's go ahead and coax the feral ghouls toward us. Make sure we've got more than one of them coming after us. And you should see the whole herd. Yep. Quickly get up here, and then fire as soon as they're around the corner. That should take care of just about all of them.
Come on.
So, now let's tell Dogmeat to follow us, because we kind of didn't want him to get incinerated if we didn't have to. And now, as you can see, everything is on fire. The ghouls are all down. People are down that weren't even part of this. And then you've got a stalker still coming out of the shadows just to explode into a million pieces. So, I don't even know how Dogmeat got behind him, Bethesda logic, but as you can see, one of the ghouls was legendary. And this is actually really good. That's enhanced Raider arm, right. Basically, it gives us 10% bonus to our action points, aka VATs. So this is very good to have at an early level, and especially considering we're going into Diamond City in the next episode, that is going to be huge, because like I said, at this point, we have some of the strongest equipment in the entire game going into Diamond City, and we are going to make the actual main story look 1,000 times easier, because this is about as far as we can realistically go with the equipment and the abilities that we have. Because as you can see, we eventually run ourselves into a corner where we get so much radiation poisoning or such a lack of stim packs that we just can't proceed forward. So let's go ahead and not go there. Let's just skip all that as we go ahead and deal with the 2 feral ghouls that somehow popped up behind us. And as you notice, because we went out of the door, the Protectron actually deactivated. So you can always go back to the terminal and just wake them up again, just to make sure no more feral ghouls crawl up behind us. This time we are not taking the door back to the outside world, because instead we have a security gate to get behind. As you can see here, it all started with this settler hiding out in the parking garage before he got ambushed by the feral ghouls. So that's how the whole place started. And what we are interested in is what's behind the gate. So let's go ahead and break in. And novice lock shouldn't be too bad, 30, 60, 90. Usually one of those will get it. And this one's being a little stubborn considering it's only novice. But we're right about there, about 30 degrees. Got it.
Got it.
And in here, we can go ahead and raid everything in the explosives box. And just like that, let's go ahead. We did not get our Rad-Away. Unfortunate. Let's head back, put everything away. As you can see there, we've got our VAT's right arm put on that we got from the Legendary Ghoul. And we are pretty much set to finally proceed forward in the main story and get to our first official town in the game. Diamond City is where we're going to have merchants. We are going to have doctors and chem dealers and weapon dealers with ammo. We're going to have a base that we can actually buy. So many amazing possibilities in Diamond City. Ultimately, that's still the settlement I'm going for over there, the Coop Mansion. But for now, this will have to do. As you can see, we've literally run ourselves about as far as we can go at the moment, and we've got 2 basically invincible sniper rifles and a missile launcher to prove for it. So if you've not already, please check out the Fallout 4 playlist. Like, share, comment, subscribe so more people can see our videos, and we'll see you back next time. Take care, everyone.